All right, here we are. Late night happy hour on a Thursday night. I say it every time when we start these videos, or lots of times. People are like, why are you doing a late night video? There's no sports, nothing to talk about. Well, first of all, it's not all sports. Secondly, in the 4 hours between 6 and 10 after the show, there's always stuff to get into. Always stuff. Later, we'll bring in McKinnell, and I want Adam's reaction on the Silver Knights. Henderson has a professional hockey team now, AHL. We got a name, we got colors, we got a logo. So we'll get into that. I do have to throw something out on the baseball front to start. So we've been talking about what's going on with the negotiations, right? And trying to tell people so much of this, especially from the management side in all these sports. We think they did it in hockey. We know they're doing it in Major League Baseball. A lot of it is to position themselves in the PR game. So I thought tonight David Price fired a brilliant touche at baseball. Did you see what he did?
Yeah, donated $1,000 per month to the minor leaguers.
So David Price is, offering to pay some of the minor leaguers who are not going to be paid. Can you imagine if players on each team got together to cover all minor leaguers' pay? That's $1,600 a month. Would people get what's going on? That the owners won't pay them, but the players, the other employees, are going to pay the lowest on the rung employees because the bosses won't pay them. It's a brilliant move.
I don't even think it would work. Like, for some reason, for whatever reason, people believe that the players have more money than the owners, or more accurately, that the players don't deserve money as much as the owners do. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, for whatever reason, they just feel the owners deserve the money and the players don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's gross. I know you. I think you get overwhelmed by the negative comments towards the players. I actually think this is much more balanced this time around than what I saw in the past in the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NFL, where for some of those situations, most of those situations, we didn't have social media, so we didn't have as many voices involved in the discussion and the debate. I actually think there's a lot more people who do get it. So we'll see where David Price's move goes, but I thought it was a pretty good move, and I hope lots more players do it if they have the money. You're not donating to charity, but you're donating to guys who don't make a whole lot of money in a lot of cases. So I thought that was a pretty cool move. So, man, the country's blowing up right now in various cities, rioting, looting. I would say it all goes back just to George Floyd, but that's not the case. The murder of George Floyd has set this off. What were you seeing tonight in Minneapolis as there's a third day of severe unrest?
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I think obviously the images of the city burning and people out there demonstrating, it's a powerful image to watch. And people, it divides people, of course. We've got people that are kind of using it for whatever they want to push their political agenda on either side. I think you're seeing people doing that, but in the end, it's sad that a community is on fire right now, and it's because people are angry and frustrated and have no idea how to express that and have no power to. And people that do have power don't allow you to express yourself in any way, and they criticize you if you're peaceful and silent and take a knee. That's not allowed. And if you're violent and angry, that's not allowed. Like, nothing's allowed. So how are people supposed to express themselves?
Yeah, what was the point you were making today on the show about folks are like, hey, the football field is not the place to protest, and then the response now is,
this is not how you protest either. Well, how do you? And
the streets are not the place to protest. It's interesting. We just saw 6-7 weeks of protesting the coronavirus approach by most states, and I didn't see like a whole lot of outrage just at the basic protest. You're not going to get it from us because I'm 100% in favor of protest. I'm not in love with violent protest, but I'll listen to anyone who's protesting something, and especially if it's the powers that be. If you're pushing back, go ahead.
Yeah, and again, like, if you're gonna, crack down. Like, here's the thing, and I just found what I was looking for. Also, from the top. I mean, the people of Michigan want to be able to go to Denny's. They bring, AK-47s into the state house, and the very good people of Michigan are angry. They want their lives back. That's a tweet from the president, and now they're thugs. These, the people are angry that are protesting a death at the hands of a police officer are thugs, and he
Do you have
just
the tweet?
threatened. He just threatened to shoot them.
Do you have the tweets in front of you?
Yeah. When the armed protesters took over the state house of Michigan, the tweet was, and this is this month, by the way. There's not a changing attitude over time. It's this month. The governor of Michigan should give a little and put out the fire. These are very good people, but they're angry. They want their lives back safely. See them, talk to them, make a deal. Tonight, these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd. These thugs. And I won't let that happen. Just spoke to the governor, told him the military is with him. Any difficulty, we'll assume control. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. That is a real tweet.
From the leader of the country. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Thank you. He says thank you at the end.
I mean, and I to be fair, I told you right before this, like I didn't think I should really come on. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I should say or could say. Like it's sad. It's infuriating. It's everything. I can't. I'm not allowed to. But it's man. I don't even understand how you would defend that. I don't. And by the way, even if you could defend it, if there was any way to defend something like that, what on earth are you trying to accomplish? While this is in the middle of happening, what are you trying to accomplish? Like you're trying to stoke the fire.
Yeah, I think it's all a game. And the game is winning an election.
It just should not be about that right now.
Yeah.
You're right, but I don't know. It's like I said, it's very tough to deal with anger and sadness at the same time, and like how to express that. I don't know. I don't know, but it's tough. It has not been a good night.
No, we've had a lot of periods of unrest.
Hold on.
Country and obviously I wasn't alive in the 60s and specifically 1968, but watching documentaries and talking to people who were, we're back at a bizarre low point. Unfortunately, I think we laid the groundwork the last 3-4 years to get here. So I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to say I don't know how we're here, but it's pretty amazing. For older folks, you're like, man, we did this stuff with civil unrest because of, the bad eggs in law enforcement in 65 and 68. And again in 92 with the LA riots. And now we're seeing it sweep across the country. You saw Louisville tonight, right? And then the Louisville case goes back to this poor couple has someone barge in, lady, what was it, Breonna Taylor, frontline worker, police barge in, they blow her away. It's like, you going to get justice? What's going to happen here? So,
yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't have to think about it every day. There are people in this country who have to worry about their safety every day and worry about the people who are, there to serve and protect. And it doesn't seem like they're getting a lot of protection right now.
No, it doesn't. And it's obviously being used to, to further agendas on both sides, mostly on one side. But, I just don't, I don't think it's very infuriating and disheartening how people's feelings and, people's emotions and how they choose to express those are so diminished just because, they're looked at as lesser. And you would like to think that, you'd like to think that wasn't the case anymore. but that's where we're at.
What do you think of that question? The Rodney King riots worse than this?
I mean, I think we're just at the beginning of this. That's the thing. Like I feel like
Minneapolis is reminiscent. Like what's happening in Minneapolis is reminiscent of LA. I don't think it's as big yet, but it's funny. I was talking to the SO because she grew up in LA and she wasn't near downtown LA. She was in the valley, but she was talking about all the curfews and how the city shut down for a while because they were trying to get things under control. But LA it was bad. And obviously there's the Reginald Denny case where the guy's driving through the Unrest and gets pulled out of the car and gets pulled out of his truck and gets his head bashed in. But I mean, it's the similar roots that people are really frustrated. They take to the streets and, like I said, I'm not super pro violence, but if you're the victim of violence repeatedly, at some point you just explode, and whether it's taking over a police station, and in this case, vandalizing it and burning it, or if it's storming multiple state houses around the country with automatic weapons, I don't really see much of a difference. White man.
Yeah. And again,
this reached another level with fires, but what we just saw the last 3 or 4 weeks, where people were taking over, going into government buildings with automatic weapons, I was disturbed by that. I was kind of wondering when we're going to get to a point where the government was going to step in and we would have something horrendous like Waco, and people are just going to start getting blown away. I don't want that to happen. But I thought the lead up the last 3 or 4 weeks was very similar to what's happening right now.
Oh yeah. Well, just think. I mean, we mentioned the tweets about Michigan, right? Remember the tweet about Minnesota? It was 2 words: liberate Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. How many states were?
Where's the support for that tonight?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing. Shouldn't if we're mad at law enforcement and we're mad at government, shouldn't the protesters from the last few weeks be arm in arm with the protesters of the last few days?
Of course.
Oh, Big Mac's in.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Pretty good. I mean, this is we like doing the I mean not good. It's sad seeing all the stuff, but
yeah.
This is why we wanted to do late night happy hour to cover kind of everything that's going on in the world of sports and around it. And we'll get to Kaepernick and what he said today. And we've got the Henderson AHL announcement to get to. But I know you've been watching what's going on.
Sure.
So what do you think? What do you think about tonight where, now we've got a police station on fire in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean, America was kind of founded on a riot, right? I mean, the Boston Tea Party was essentially a riot where, as a society, I wouldn't say inherently violent, but violence and protests and civil unrest and riots, whatever you want to call it, have been a part of our history for hundreds of years now at this point. So, I mean, Watts experienced it in the 60s. Detroit experienced it, obviously, during the civil rights movement. There's a modern-day civil rights movement happening now. For decades, Black people and people of color have been getting killed in the streets, in many cases unarmed, in some cases underage. And now we have video and body cameras to catch it all in footage, and people have had enough. It's pretty easy to see what's happening.
And nobody's advocating, as the comment said earlier, burning down of police stations.
Not at all.
But it's
predictable, Adam.
It's a symbol.
It's predictable. This isn't new, right? I mean, civil unrest is not new. Burning things to the ground, burning cities for days, for weeks is not new. It's just not. Hopefully the thinking is new. At least I hope people are kind of waking up and realizing with this pandemic that we all are in it together, that it's not a matter of black and white. It's a matter of class, and it's a matter of haves and have-nots. And hopefully on some level this is exposing, because people will ask me, well, why do you care so much about black issues, or what are you virtue signaling and being outspoken? No, I just know history well enough to know that it's only a matter of circumstance and timing. It's only a matter before we can all be in the streets and having German shepherds being sicked on us and having fire hoses spray us down and having us being innocently executed in the street. The only reason it's not happening right now is because we're white American males, which is yay. I mean, we hit life's lottery, right? But there could be a point in time where that doesn't hold any weight and the abuse of power extends to us. So I'd rather be vocal now and try to not let that happen and have some sanity and equality for everybody. I that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I'm not surprised when you ask me about the burning of the police station or anything that's happened in Minneapolis or anything that might happen. It's predictable. It's a cycle and it repeats itself.
Yeah, Brian saying protesters putting a price tag on police brutality. Maybe other mayors will tell their PD to chill. I mean, we saw other police departments come out today, including Metro, and say, "Yeah, I mean, what we saw, that's not training. That's not following protocol.
Right.
We don't approve that. We're working to improve our relationship."
Right, but who's the protocol that he had 17 previous, complaints?
Yeah,
What's
well,
that protocol?
I'm talking about Metro and what Dallas said.
I know.
But you're right. I mean, and those are. I think we need to see more about the complaints because I understand the Vietnamese officer. He had about 6 complaints, and I think he was actively being investigated for one of them. The previous 5 resulted in nothing. But yeah, this guy, what's his name? Chauvin? Is that his first name?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm sorry, his last name, Derek Chauvin or Chauvin. Yeah, I mean, he had 18 reports or 18 complaints filed in the past, so. It ain't good, and certainly what we saw on camera wasn't good, and he seemed super comfortable with what he was doing. And I think the images, it's Adam. You say it all the time. Stuff like this, stuff like domestic violence. Athletes or just dudes in general just beating the shit out of women. It's happened forever, but it's the video, it's the visual that gets people. I mean, the difference between Greg Hardy and Ray Rice is the video. In this case, the video is so jarring. The guy's kneeling and digging a knee into someone's neck for minutes upon minutes, and people are screaming at him like, "Okay, he's saying he can't breathe. Stop!" And just this smug look on the guy's face, I think that just set everyone off. It brings up so many emotions.
Yeah, and also I think, at least for me, guys, the craziest part of that whole video, and it was crazy, the narration from the guy filming it, who's just very, very matter-of-factly like, "Oh, so you're going to kill this dude." Like, okay, so this dude's telling you he can't breathe, and you're just going to kill this guy. I mean, he's narrating Lloyd's death right in front of him, and it's so easy to see what's happening. It's just, it's very easy to see why people are so frustrated.
I wanted to ask you guys, and I don't think we can get a real answer. If you were standing there, what would you do? Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Do you, at some point, do you try to jump in? Do you charge? I mean, because you're risking getting shot in the head.
Absolutely not. Sorry, Adam. Adam, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, like, if we're around these situations, you're just gonna, and you want to respect law enforcement, and obviously they have a story. There's a reason they're doing something, but it strikes me when we're just sitting there filming stuff, like, are we doing the right thing as citizens?
No way. I look like at a central casting for American History X. Like, I don't mess with police. I don't talk back to police. I don't get lippy with police. I don't give the police any reason at any time. So no, I wouldn't do shit. I would keep on walking. Now, I wouldn't film it. I don't know.
That's what I would do.
I've been in a lot of crazy situations in my life. That's not one I've ever been in. So maybe maybe it's a disservice to say what I know I would do or not do, because it's so chaotic and crazy that, maybe like a fight, you don't know what you're going to do until you're in it, right? I think that's probably one of those situations.
I would be the one filming it. I've done it before, and it didn't result in anything. Nothing ended up happening. But there was a situation that I thought could head in that kind of direction, and I just stood right there and filmed it. And they kept telling me I wasn't allowed to, and I had to get out of there. And I was like, I'm staying right here. Yeah. So that's what I would do. And you would hope that would be enough to shine light and say, enough. Like, don't do this because you're on film.
I think he was inspired by it in a way.
Playing to the camera.
In some ways, and This is a great question, and you know what? This is a whole discussion, a whole separate discussion about the thin blue line, and these guys have a job to do. I don't know why the other officers didn't step in. I don't know why they were just kind of, one was playing guard. Apparently, the other one was working on the guy's legs. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. Yeah, and the thin blue line thing about loyalty and. If you turn on each other, obviously within a department, your name is mud. These are tough jobs. I don't know. I saw someone tweet out earlier. It's like when someone says it's an intriguing question or statement. When someone says, "Hey, you can have 1,000 good cops and 10 bad ones, but if the 1,000 don't turn in the 10 bad, then you've got 1,010 bad cops." Is that too harsh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it is. I think it's true, but it's why it's the culture that we've talked about, because nobody. I mean, there's the rare extreme examples, of course, but really nobody has ever said all cops are bad. You see the rare outlier that says that. Nobody ever says that. I mean, I think in most people's opinion, 99.999% are good, but the problem that the institution has. And whether you think it's a PR issue or an actual issue, is the fact that, like you said, if that one is allowed to do what he wants, and the others just stand by and afterwards defend no matter what, then that's where the problems come. I mean, in all of these cases, in the egregious cases that we've seen, it would have died down so much more quickly if immediately they all every officer, every department, every police union just came out and said, "That guy sucks. Get him the hell out of here. Put him in jail." Yep. Every time. And they don't. And this time, as you mentioned, there are people saying it. But I feel like that is where the distrust comes in, and that's where so many of the problems come in. That we don't have that accountability of that one is bad. Get him the hell out of here.
Well, I was going back to the guy who was narrating the video. For as numb as he was and for as matter of fact as he was, I think we are also waking up. I think there are people waking up with each one of these viral videos. And you could question, well, why didn't they come around sooner? Clearly this has been an issue for the Black community for decades, for centuries. If you want, obviously want to be historical, but if they're on that side and they eventually get there, I guess that's all we should be concerned about. That's the important part, right? And with each one of these videos, and there are so many of them that we have become numb, more people will wake up to the point to where eventually, I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, I hope we do, where accountability will be had, right? And this won't be as big an issue. I think whenever you have power, you're going to have issues, but this is seemingly a pretty systemic issue that goes back, predating our lifetime.
And the Trump, because it's late, it's late East Coast time, and that thing was just sent out about an hour ago. He said, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." Thank you. I just saw Charles Robinson from Yahoo. He just goes, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts. You're the president of the United States. Please, slow down. Please, dear God, do not ask American soldiers to shoot American citizens because they fucked up a target." And you're going to see a lot of that. I think people who have not been involved and have not been comfy speaking out are going to start freaking unraveling and melting down.
Wasn't that the goal?
Yep.
Isn't that the goal of the tweet in the entire presidency?
Yeah.
I mean,
distractions.
Yeah. Get mad about this. Oh, you know what? This is great. We just passed 100,000 deaths. How about this? How about I'm going to tweet out that we're going to start shooting American citizens?
Sorry, Steve. I was going to say, while 40 million people are out of a job and emotions are high, and we already as a nation, we've been a powder keg for my entire lifetime, right? And now it's going to, there's one side that likes to think that they're the angry side, that they're the only ones with weapons and arsenals. And I have to constantly remind people that this is America and it's a dangerous place. I mean, I'm not paranoid. I live my life. I very much love what this country is, and I've enjoyed my life here very much. But to deny what this is crazy. And there's anger on both sides. And you're seeing that in cities, and specifically Minneapolis. That's not a bunch of GOPers that are burning down the police station. You know what I mean? So it's anger on both sides. And that tweet, he just essentially, I mean, in theory, gave a license to kill. It's not like an executive order, but it is a tweet. And that's what is so dangerous about this guy. And I said it from the beginning. I don't care much about him. It's his words and the message that he sends out. I never really liked any presidents, if we're being honest. But at least they spoke like decent human beings, and they put a facade up that they were decent. There's no facade here. And that tweet's very dangerous.
You see some of the other weird images. Did they catch a St. Paul police officer?
No, it's fake.
That is fake? Okay.
Yeah, it's fake.
Doing some vandalizing? Okay, that was fake?
That's fake. Yeah.
I saw another one where did someone catch a reporter? This one sounds like it's fake too, but did someone catch a reporter like using their phone to throw in like gunfire effects?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Effects. It's so that's another amazing thing about this era is all the different agendas and people trying to take advantage of situations like that, like this and exacerbate it. What do you think of what Brady just said? Do you believe the looting and rioting takes away from the movement? Does it allow people to move on from the death and look towards the response?
Yes. But
it allows people that want to push that agenda. Right.
Right.
So and I said this earlier, and I'll say it on here too. Like, for some reason, like when we just pointed out that, hey, 99.99% of cops are good, and we focus on these 0.01 that are bad and shouldn't be in the job and are unqualified and even worse are absolutely awful people. Like, we focus on them, and it's allowed. So then the other side is allowed to take away this argument of, oh, you hate cops. Like, what are you talking about? But then so it goes the same way where there's a large protest, a large group of people that are just angry and just want to show their displeasure, and a small number start doing stuff like stealing and looting and burning things down. Now tonight was different. Tonight was more of a mass thing, but when a couple of people are breaking into a store and taking TVs, see, you didn't care about it in the first place, you just wanted a TV, and like you're just allowed to hijack the argument, which is that's the preposterous thing. And you don't get to decide what the argument is. Just like going back to the Kaepernick thing, when they just decided it's about protesting the flag, and it was never.
And that's the issue, is that Brady asked us to take away from the movement. I don't think there's any question that it does, because it's it's images, it's video, it's this kick you in the face sort of reality, right? But what do you expect? Tamir Rice, Philando Castile. Now this, the list goes on. I've forgotten so many names that have come and gone that have been just executed, right? And the community has asked for justice, right? They've done it in peaceful ways by and large. Colin Kaepernick knelt for police injustice, or for civil injustice, for civil whatever you want to say it was, right? But it was against police brutality and the execution of unarmed black civilians in American streets, and they blackballed them from the league for that. So when you constantly be relatively calm and you show your protest in ways that aren't violent and aren't burning down police stations, and you feel like you're unheard for decade after decade, this is just cause and effect. It's predictable.
The tweet from, I don't know if you guys saw, from Pablo Torre, the writer. He said, riots are bad, and that's why we would all respect a completely peaceful and polite way to famously protest police brutality that involves silently kneeling before America, like at an NFL game.
Right.
Yeah, did you guys, we talked about this on the show, but I'll read it for the audience if you missed the show today, and if McKinnell missed it, but Kaepernick did tweet out today, when civility leads to death, revolting or revolution is the only logical reaction. The cries for peace will rain down, and when they do, they will land on deaf ears, because your violence has brought this resistance. We have the right to fight back. Rest in power. George Floyd.
Yeah. If I was black and my people were getting killed every single day, every single year, it feels like every single day, right? I would think I would be pretty upset with that. Like, if I felt like I wasn't safe, if I was profiled. I've never been profiled once in my life. I can't imagine psychologically what that would do to me if it happened more than once, which I mean, I would imagine those that have went through the black experience here in America, and it doesn't matter the decade, they've went through some pretty messed up stuff. So I
can't imagine what you'd be like. You're a powder keg now.
Yeah, but that's my privilege, right? Imagine, that's the thing.
Just imagine having that target daily on your back.
Right. But would it allow me to be me? Could I? That is the privilege that I get. I can be wild and crazy and outspoken and aggressive and a powder keg. And I can only get to do that because I'm fucking white. If I was black going around saying half the shit that I say, are you kidding me? You guys know me?
Adam, you've been in the car when I've been pulled over, right?
Yeah.
How do you think that would go?
It's the definition of privilege.
Yeah. I don't process privilege, but you're right, because I've gotten away with it before, being truculent, being combative with a police officer when I get pulled over. I don't have to process. Like, I know Adam was kind of half serious, I think sort of joking when did you get pulled over when this was really heating up a couple of years ago, Adam, and you immediately put your hands? Did you get pulled over for using the cell phone, right?
Yep.
Texting?
Yep.
And you put your hands up on the dash. And I think you were doing it, one, to be safe, but two, to make a point. But yeah, I mean, I've been pulled over probably 30 times in my life, and I would say I've been combative or truculent maybe 4 times, believe it or not. But I had no fear that I was going to get a freaking club shoved up my ass, or batted across the face, or dragged into a dark area to get a gun put to my head.
No, because that's the white experience. That's like the frat boy, Midwest, East Coast, all-American experience. You know how much illegally dumb shit I did growing up? Like, straight up, I mean, borderline felonious shit that I never got in trouble for, got pulled over sometimes, coming back from doing illegal shit, going to do illegal shit, and it never cost me, not once, because I'm white. If I had been black, my entire journey on planet Earth would be completely different. And you said, what would you be like? Again, maybe I would be completely different if I was black. Because, I mean, look at you don't think they feel the same anger that I feel? They feel it more than I feel. And they don't get to show it, because if they get pulled over for the 6th time, within an 18-month period, they can't be like, yo, officer, what the fuck? That doesn't fly. It ends up really bad.
I got to slow down.
Yeah, you do.
Aggressive driver.
I'm glad he noticed that.
I might be the only Caucasian who's been pulled over twice in a day. Twice.
What? So
I've had two different days where I got pulled over twice.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Was it just a bad day? You just had lead foot or what?
Just bad luck.
Okay.
Well, one was a cross country. One was a cross country drive. I got pulled over in Arizona. No, I was going the other way. I was coming west. I got pulled over in Oklahoma. I got so pissed off when I got pulled over, I bought a radar detector. It didn't work, and I got pulled over the same day in Arizona.
Arizona always gets me.
Yeah. The worst. Yeah. Derek saying you got the boys will be boys treatment. Yeah. Right. Sure. You're right. Well, I think we and no Xavier tonight. We'll try to rebook him. Not sure what happened.
Isn't it like 2 a.m. there?
It's 1. Yeah, it's Central Time.
I think he's kind of in the same mood as I am. Like, Ryan, before you got here, I was like, I really don't want to be here.
No, I don't want to be here. But it's an interesting conversation. Like, if Steve wants to dive in and have a conversation about civil unrest and, give our thoughts on it, I'm here. Let's go.
He hasn't tweeted in like 4.5 hours, I think. So maybe he went to Minneapolis. I don't know.
Let's go.
I would if I was in the Midwest. Would you go to the Strip? It's on the Strip right now.
What's that?
There's mass protests on the Strip right now. So
where?
Go down there. Right by MGM.
All right. Maybe I'll go after this. You won't go out?
Let's see those videos. Instead of the empty streets, I want to see the reporters down there reporting on the what's going down by MGM right now.
Yeah, I don't really think I can be seen there.
Is Brock Turner is he the
Stanford rapist?
Rapist,
yeah. Yeah, well, George Zimmerman and old Brock are still walking around, right? There's a lot of people that are still walking around.
Man, I'm not going to make predictions, but I feel like that this is the first time I've ever seen angry people go to the source of the crime and actually go to the guy's house. Do you remember that ever happening before?
No. But also, there's no way.
I mean, obviously, the other way. Yes, we have a terrible history of going to the African American alleged offender to their house, but I don't know that I've ever seen folks go to the house of the accused in one of these cases.
Yeah, that's kind of feels historic. Also, you talk about it being the other way. Look into the amount of deaths in the Ferguson area. And specifically that were caught on camera that were protesting the Ferguson protests, randomly ending up in the back of trunks of cars, not alive, obviously. There's been a lot of questions surrounding that. So when we do share videos or people are sharing videos from what's going on in Minneapolis, keep that in mind because, like Adam brought up earlier, Chauvin with 18, prior complaints. I think 2 were disciplined. And now there was a report coming out. I don't know. It was a blue check mark, so I can just leave it at that. But who knows what that means these days? That Chauvin and Lloyd may have worked together at a restaurant.
That's from the owner of the restaurant.
Okay.
So they were coworkers.
That is a wild twist because, I mean, that would obviously then read like revenge, right? That it was set up.
Yowza.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have more comments on it as we get more news coming in.
Then we get on Twitter.
Did Carson Wentz?
It's bad right now.
Oh, it's crazy. Did Carson Wentz speak up on this tonight?
It did.
What'd you think?
He's from woke Dakota. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm glad that he did.
He said, been thinking about the George Floyd situation, thinking of words to say and coming up empty. All I know is that institutional racism in this country breaks my heart, needs to stop. Can't even fathom what the black community has to endure on a daily basis. Being from North Dakota, I've spent a large part of my life surrounded by people of similar color, so I'm not going to act like I know what the black community goes through or even has gone through already. I'll never know the feeling of having to worry about my kids going outside because of their skin color. However, I do know that we're all equal at the foot of the cross. And Jesus taught us to value others' lives like they were our own, regardless of skin tone. So this might seem like a ramble, and perhaps it is. I don't understand the society that we live in that doesn't value all human life. It's heartbreaking, disturbing. My prayers go out to every man, woman, and child that has to endure the effects of racism in our society. Good for him. And as we said many times at the height of the Kaepernick, I'll call it unrest around the NFL, if more players of all races would step up and speak out, it would have so much more impact. But we saw what happened to Kaepernick, so I don't know. Can they, if it's a few hundred guys, they're going to cut and blackball 100 guys, 200 guys?
No, you would need the powerful white players. You need Tom Brady speaking out for Kaepernick instead of having a MAGA hat in his fucking locker.
Right? Aaron Rodgers had some words last time around. I mean, he's 36, 37 years old. Step up, bruh. Let's go.
Any of them.
Your border state.
That's what you need, right? I mean, Adam, you would agree that it's like the white quarterbacks that have to step up. I mean, it's all due respect to the Long brothers and people that are opening their mouths. The white quarterbacks, the standard, the NFL measuring stick.
I feel like I don't want to single out white quarterbacks. I feel like everybody kind of needs to do their part.
Who has the most power in the NFL, Adam?
The owners.
Okay. What players have the most power in the NFL, Adam?
Players need to step up. So whether it's Josh Allen to Jared Goff to Phillip Rivers to, you already mentioned Brady.
White quarterbacks.
Huh? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be outspoken. What are you risking? Your popularity? Especially like the older guys? Fuck it. You're old. You're going to be done in 2 or 3 years. You're not going to get endorsements or, some idiot programmer who can't fucking train up NFL players to be real analysts. What are they? They're going to pass on Drew Brees or Phillip Rivers. They're going to lose their chance at a TV gig. No, because again, there's an extra level of privilege that allows you to do that. So take advantage of it.
You might also get more fans. I mean, I own a LeBron James Lakers jersey. What? I don't own any other team non-Chicago jersey, but I went out and brought a King James jersey because I love LeBron James for the reasons that I love him for being outspoken like he is. So maybe if, and Aaron Rodgers did come out and go hard, maybe I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, that might not be good, but might go to top 5 in jersey sales.
Oh man. How about this? What if the entire NHL is just like, we're not playing because of this?
The premise?
Like
because
that,
of this?
Yes, that will send the message. I like it.
Get all the whites riled up, let them know it's serious. No hockey.
Yeah.
Bet you the fans would love that.
Yeah. They'd be so confused.
Right? Well, the ultimate, I think it's coming for hockey in all of these players v management pay issues. One, I will be embarrassed for hockey players if they accept some shitty deal and play out the playoffs for no money. But when a few of them step up and get vocal, I think the fans are going to be just frazzled. I don't think they're going to know what to do.
Hockey players have no personality. So if they actually showed some, it give their entire league a heart attack. I don't think
that's fair. I was more commenting on the fans who believe that hockey players are somehow different than NBA players or Major League Baseball players or football players.
No, everyone cares about their family.
And no one. We brought this example up a million times. No one should be cool with making 20 or 30% of what they were expecting to make or 40% of what they were expecting to make. And I know there's people out there who are like, I would do it. Well, you can't. I can't. Adam can't. Ryan can't. We're not good enough. You have unique skills. We're replaceable. They're not. Did you guys read Andrew Yang on just kind of the anger right now that's going on? He said one reason things seem so bleak is that there's so little accountability. Crash the economy, bonuses and bailouts. Kill a jogger, walk free for weeks. Botch a pandemic, it's politics. Kill a man arrested for a nonviolent crime. People are fed up. Right?
Yep. Yeah. I thought that was really well said. It just makes me, every time like he tweets or someone, literally anyone else tweets and does something other than Joe Biden, I keep rubbing my head at how we got Joe Biden or how the Democrats got Joe Biden. Like the crazy crystal lady. Adam, who is the crazy crystal lady?
Marianne Williamson.
Yeah. I would have taken crazy crystal lady over creepy Joe. And I certainly would have taken Robot Yang. Automation's going to take all of our jobs and kick us to the curb. Yang had a lot of great stuff that he could talk. But that tweet specifically, that was a really well worded tweet. And it's like, what's the old saying? A picture's worth 1,000 words. I think that's changing now. Or like a screen grab can be worth 1,000 words. Just one tweet can change someone's life.
I'll tell you the biggest political impact that this whole incident had. Amy Klobuchar's out. When she was a prosecutor in Minneapolis, she declined to prosecute this guy.
Yep.
That ain't gonna work with campaign ads. So
you're talking about the officer?
Yeah.
Wow.
She had a decision to make on prosecuting him.
What do you think about when Andrew said that it just hasn't happened yet, but the NHL players?
Oh no, it has. I made that argument on the air the other day. It has happened. That announcement by the NHL was throwing the players under the bus.
Nah, it was a PR move to set up the war, but I don't think they've officially shit on the NHL players yet about salaries. They put them in a corner. Exactly. They've put them in the corner by going, hey, hockey fans, we got the format. All we need is the players to agree to whatever we're going to pay them and whatever safety measures we put in and wherever we pick as the 2 hub cities, and we're good to go. And like Adam said, if the players elect to push back on any of them, then it's the players' fault. We want to have hockey. The players don't want to bring the sport back. So we'll see if that happens. Adam, you don't have to name any players, but you talk to enough of the Golden Knights. Do you think there are some of them that would, I don't know, like they would have the same mindset as, say, a Blake Snell or, more recently, Max Scherzer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There are guys?
Oh, yeah.
He laughs.
Of course. Of course they would.
Wow, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen anyone say this one before, that the NFL and NBA will play. The other 2, you doubt it. The NHL, you doubt is going to come back. Interesting.
I don't know. The NHL is so, like, all the salary cap leagues are dependent on revenue, and they're going to need to make it. But I think the NHL is in a spot where they just could not. The players could not afford to give up the money that they would get from a postseason on TV,
right?
And the impact that would have potentially on the salary cap. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what the owners try to do to them as part of this, and how they try to, really screw them over in the deal on this. But I just don't think they could afford, going forward, the salary cap ramifications of what that would do.
I promise one last thing, because I got a lot of thoughts about what we've seen in Minneapolis and now in Louisville and LA. And
wait, Louisville, LA?
Oh yeah, Louisville, LA last night.
7 people shot in Louisville so far tonight.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Well, they had an incident in the last month or so where cops bursted into a couple's home and they blew away some lady. They shot her 8 times. She was a frontline worker, Breonna Taylor. So.
I heard about that. I heard about that story. Yeah. That's the issue, right? There's so many of them, you forget them sometimes.
Adam, can you answer this one? You can choose to if you want. Who would be the loudest voice in Golden Knights? Okay.
I can't.
Who'd be the loudest person at Lotus Broadcasting about pay?
Wow. Ari.
Who'd be the there you go. First Ari mention of the night. All right, Ari, respond. We know you're watching. Is there a chance once like the main stuff, the most important stuff, starts moving in the right direction, we get some sorting out of what's going on in Minneapolis, that the woman in the wheelchair who was wielding the knife and trying to stab people, that she's brought up on attempted murder charges?
That's a tough one. Like, I don't even know which side to go on that. That's so weird. Like,
fuck her. She wasn't being attacked.
I know, but that's how it's been portrayed today.
For vigilante justice,
dude. Look at you. You don't follow enough people that have opposite viewpoints on Twitter. I feel like I do it because I want to feel like I want to see what everybody's kind of saying. They've been portraying that as woman attacked. A woman is attacked by a mob. Like, that's not what happened.
She got attacked once she was stabbing at people, and then they were like, all right, now we're going to freaking blow the extinguisher in her face. And then after that, like once she was blinded, when people started throwing stuff at her, all right, that may have been unnecessary. But
that was unnecessary.
She was the one who was stabbing at people.
Wait, I thought that was the most necessary thing of the whole fucking video. That was, as a pro wrestling fan, I have never seen a better fire extinguisher spot. Like, there will never, in the history of video filmed on, actual film or digital, that was incredible. I don't condone it, but what a plot twist. I mean, a real visceral reaction when the fire extinguisher came out. I mean, that was a home run of a plot twist.
I like that we've made rhymes with a thing in the chat where we can give away things that we can't say by rhyming them with something.
That's right.
That's funny.
All right, let's get to the real earth-shattering news out there. Henderson's hockey team is named the Silver Kings. So now we're reacting. Then that was not a mystery, all right? It wasn't going to be the desert. Did I say Silver Kings? Silver Knights. It wasn't going to be the Desert Knights. It wasn't,
Wait,
as I said.
they went with Silver Knights? I didn't even know that. I didn't watch it.
Adam's been watching the riots.
Yeah. They weren't going to go with Desert Knights. They weren't going to go with my suggestion, which I think Henderson would be rioting right now after giving $40 million to Foley and the arena. McKinnell, I don't know if you were listening. I wanted them to go with the Henderson Vegas Knights, which would be so awesome. Henderson gets none of the brand. Like, here's $40 million. Now we're just going to shorten it to Vegas Knights. Henderson gets no mention. But so there's Silver Knights. They are going with silver and black, which that's brilliant. You have to do that. The logo, as Brady just said, the Henderson horse faces.
God, that logo sucks.
I'm all in.
I think they hit a fucking home run with the logo. I think it's awesome. Yep.
It's a horse.
It's an equine, Adam.
Yep.
The lovers of the equine arts or the equine animal.
It's more than a horse. For someone who just it's more than a horse. No, for someone who just lobbed the accusation at me that I don't follow enough people who are well-rounded, you're not well-rounded because you're not up on current popular trends. That, to me, what they're jumping on there is the Game of Thrones deal.
No,
that horse
way too much credit.
That horse reminds me of so many of the horses in battle in Game of Thrones. And they got the H in the middle of the face. They've got the gold eyes. I think it's a really good logo.
It's terrible. And I think
it's great.
It's not Game of Thrones.
You don't any logo. You don't like any names, any logos. They all suck. You don't like the Rams colors.
They're terrible.
They're not. I think the Rams did a good job.
I like the old Denver Nuggets logo with the skyline.
Okay.
That was cool.
Like Tetris?
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you call that up? Can you call that up?
In 1979?
Call up like a best logos ever like page. We can break them down.
Ryan, why do you like the logo, Ryan?
I love it. I thought it looks great. I think a silver and black color scheme is obviously the way to go with the Raiders coming to town. Get a little rub on that. I feel like a horse is better than a knight. Like, knights don't exist anymore. Horses do. I don't know, man. We're going down a dangerous road with breaking down, mascots and logos. But I have on one hand, I have a very strict criteria, and then on the other hand, I have no criteria. I don't know it until I see it. I like it though. And you
actually liked JVT's tweet was like one of my favorite ones of all of them tonight.
I didn't get it.
What did he say?
It was something. I'm just going to quote him here. I'm just going to paraphrase him. I mean, it's going to be awful, way off. He basically was like, "Hey, listen, it's really cool to just hate anything that when it first comes out. Like, that's the trendy thing. Oh, this sucks. I hate this, but this is actually really bad."
He said all people like to do is crap on something new. Logos, uniforms. I usually push back on it. Not everything sucks. Not today, though. This is pretty lame. You guys are pretty lame. It's a good logo. Now this is what I find interesting. What was the reaction of the average VGK fan?
I mean, I felt like the hardcore VGK can do no wrong. People were just like, "This is great. I love it. It's awesome." But I think the average was like, "Oh my God, what is this?"
We're getting Henderson Silver Knights merch, man. Henderson has an AHL team. Water Street's going to be popping. Going to see my Eastern European bakery over there. Going to hit that up. Got my Mexican joint. It's about to be the best place in town.
We talked about that today. Good luck. Adam. Yeah, good luck ever getting a table at Juan's again, bro. Good luck.
Everything's a negative.
Yeah.
Don't ruin.
Stevie is right, though. He did kind of. I mean,
no, I know. Well, here's the positive thing is my guess is that once they're back open and they can recoup whatever losses they've had the last couple of months, that by next year there's two locations now. There's going to be a third location somewhere. Like, they're doing such good business at both locations. So how about glass overflowing, Adam? There'll be a third ones, and maybe maybe it'll be down to service the new Raider base, and it'll be right over by you, so you can literally walk to the park to watch Derek Carr work out and then go over to Juan's.
I know, but I don't eat Mexican food anymore.
Oh,
God, you're not going to be on this diet forever. You'll get to a point where you freaking.
yeah. Would you hurry up and just get skinny so you can go back to doing things you like, so you won't be so miserable?
We're
When
Bischoff's.
was I ever?
Were Bischoff's rankings any good or just snarky?
I think you put the Silver Knights at number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have the lights is 1, the Aces is 2.
Oh God! Hold on.
Oh, I love the lights. I do think the lights.
Hold
have the
on.
best. Either
The lights
that
is great.
or the what's the Playa del Reyes, the Aviators, 51s.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I think that's probably the best.
Okay, with Bischoff? Here are the rankings. So first of all, A for effort, because I'm too lazy to do stuff like this. So Bischoff likes doing his little graphics and charts and pissing people off. The light he's got. See, he's doing this is so trolly.
But Lights is objectively the best one.
It's a really great logo.
And Aces, I'm guessing Aces is 2. That's absolutely the second best.
Yeah, I actually agree.
You guys are absurd.
What?
He's got Lights 1, Aces 2, Henderson with the Silver Knights 3. He's got the Aviators just LV 4.
Yes.
But then he's got the Aviator 10.
Yeah.
He's got the Golden Knights Swords with the star 5. He's got UNLV with just UNLV 6. He's got VGK 7. The Raiders 8, which is ridiculous. Though the Raiders are not 8. They're not 8.
Who would it be better than? Where would it move in front of?
I would say number 1.
No.
First of all, the guy making the rankings, and I know he's trying to troll. Come on, bro. You're bought and paid for by the Lights. It's the only team that'll let you near them.
Right, but the Lights is objectively the best logo.
It is.
Can we do more promotions with Eric Wynalda? Sure, Tyler. That's the only team that'll let you around him. What a kiss ass.
I think we should have moved up the.
And Ari, you're watching right now. Make sure you snitch on me and get the sound. Well, you're not going to get it. You're not working in the morning, but tell Jared.
The Golden Knights star needs to be moved up a little bit. I think that's a top 3 logo. I don't know what I would move out.
No, God, no.
Oh,
I would move it down. I'd move it down.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
The Raiders at 8. But here's the ultimate troll.
Isn't it the new UNLV logo is 9?
Yeah, I'm sorry if Jim Gemma, if you're watching, like I don't love your the bug logo, but Tyler, I mean, he's got the new UNLV logo that everyone hated that's already been phased out that had the whole diagram. He has that ahead of the Bug Aviators logo. That's a troll job.
No. The Bug logo for the Aviators is the worst logo I've ever seen in sports. If you can find me one that is worse, I'm game.
There's got to be.
Okay.
The Henderson Silver Knights one. By the way, they put out a Silver Knights graphic too, just like the UNLV one.
I loved it. I didn't even see all the different things in it. It's very cool.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But when you need the graphic, that's the argument we made.
You don't need it.
That's the argument. That's the argument that we made with the new UNLV logo. If you need a graphic to tell everybody what everything is, it's probably not a good logo.
I'll punch it up here in a second. God,
they've got a Twitter page at HS Knights. Henderson's got a hockey team. Let's go.
Relax.
I'm going back to the Silver Knights. I am pleasantly surprised. I think they hit a freaking home run.
It's awesome.
I guess we would just have different definitions of home runs.
Well, but yeah, there are no home runs for you with logos. That's the thing.
What are you talking about? I said the lights is great.
You're lying. You're just making.
No, I'm not. I enjoy it. And the Aces is really good. And the Aces have a great mascot. Buckets is amazing. Cash the Saga Rocker. But Buckets.
Now that's stupid. Cash the Sock Rocker is one of the best mascots in town.
No. Buckets is so far and away number 1.
Yeah, you're right. You know what, Ray? This is the top of the chart for logos for Adam. Max, you can get as a ground rule double. That's it. I don't even know if that's what he meant, but whatever.
Messed up. Just all the chances done for Gila Monster awareness in the valley and really across, all desert landscapes. Fucked up.
I will be there.
Yeah, and we already brought this up on the air that Adam 100% will be like rushing out of the studio, or I'll have to move I'll have to
Pizza
move
Rock.
the show. I'll have to move the show for every freaking Silver Knights game over to Henderson now. Sorry, man.
Yeah, Pizza Rock. I can walk over there.
Adam's number 2 on the Aviators, the Aces, the Lights, the Raiders, the freaking UNLV basketball, UNLV football. He's 1 on the Raiders. Every UFC, he's number 1. Every goddamn team, every organization. It never ends.
It's really not fair. I haven't attended a live sporting event since March.
Yes, such discipline.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you considering? And I guess are the season tickets all sold out? All the deposits down for the Henderson Silver Knights?
I don't know. I don't know anything
I have to say right now, I hate saying the name. I'm already out on that.
Of course, exactly.
We're gonna have to come up with something else.
The name sucks. By the way, what do you think? Josh Jacobs, the new star running back here in Las Vegas, just tweeted 1 minute ago. Tired of this BS, cuz. What do you think he's talking about? Very yes.
Another bad logo, according to you in Las Vegas.
That's what I was going for.
Josh Jacobs is very worked up. Did I ruin your joke? I stepped on your line. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
You just know him so well. You knew exactly where he was going with it.
I don't think he was.
Oh, you hit it with the you hit it with the CUHH.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right. Do we bring up Bischoff's rankings on the air tomorrow on the show?
Of course. I think we should have him on to defend it.
I hate promoting that guy.
But he doesn't have to defend it because he did a great job.
I don't even think it's trolly, Steve. Like, you can legitimately make the case for the Raiders having a bad logo as well. But the problem is it's iconic. Or not, it's not a problem. It's just, I mean, it's obviously it's Stabler and Tim Brown and the lineage and Al Davis and all that, but it's also like Ice Cube and NWA in like the late 80s and the early 90s. It's an iconic logo, but it is a corny ass logo. It's like a crayon drawing of a pirate with a shitty eye patch. Like, it's not a great logo. It doesn't inspire. Like, you show that to someone, overseas that doesn't know shit about the NFL, and you show them the Raiders logo, they'll be like, what is that? They play in a barn?
I'm not taking the bait. Ryan is very chill tonight. Maybe we brought it. I think he's down in the dumps too. Let me punch up something and get your reaction on a take tonight from one of the powers in sports.
Okay.
All right.
Look at that fucking face.
By the way, before you play this and move on, I did want to point out John Von Tobel's tweet from earlier too, and I think he was just in here. I don't know if he still is, but he tweeted it was perfect. He said the Silver Knights logo looks like one of those stock images Madden would use when you're trying to create an expansion franchise, which is so true.
I think it's great.
Play the video. I'm gonna mime. I'm gonna do my Dana White impression.
The thumb.
So, I really want. I don't know when I became a John Jones stan again, because I also we won't get to it tonight, but I like what John Jones said about the George Floyd situation. But I respect John Jones as a fighter. I'm always worried about him fucking up a card by getting high or being on PEDs or crashing his car.
Sure.
But there's no denying he's the best. I've already gone on record. I hate when people say I've planted my flag. I want to see him fight 280-pound Francis Ngannou because I think he's going to destroy him and make Ngannou look like a statue. So that's a debate for another day. This is a great fight. This is a fight that fight fans deserve, especially if we're going to pay $65 and $75 for pay-per-view during a pandemic when everyone probably has someone in their house, if not everyone in their house, unemployed in Las Vegas, right? We're at 28.5% unemployment. This is a great fight. But Dana is being Dana. The UFC is being the UFC. And frankly, this kind of language is exactly what Major League Baseball owners are doing. This is a long setup. Let me just play the goddamn sound.
It's one thing if you come out and say, yeah, listen, I want a little more money. The amount of money that John Jones wanted doesn't. First of all, I'm going to stop it here.
Don't lean on the pandemic crutch. Don't do it. And by the way, why can't he say what John Jones asked for?
Oh, I'll give you an answer to that. Are you going to finish playing it?
You have in the light heavyweight division, the Dominic Reyes fight is a fight that makes sense. So is John Jones going to go in and fight Francis Ngannou, then try to take a run at the heavyweight title? I don't believe that. He's never wanted to move to heavyweight before. And for the amount of money he's asking for, it's not going to happen. I mean, you couldn't be asking for a more absurd amount of money at a worse time.
Okay, so is Dominic Reyes still the first?
Brett. I'm just gonna leave him up. He's very handsome. I don't want him to ruin those good looks. Do I have to play the rest of it?
No,
Adam?
I don't think so. No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Am I off base? Abs guy, weekend nemesis is. Why does it matter what he's asking? We don't need context. What if he makes $2 million a fight and he asks for $3.5? Is that absurd? If he asks for $100 million, okay, that's absurd. Like, what's absurd? Yeah, there's relevancy to the amount. Yes. There's an economic model. There's real numbers. There's the books, and there's what UFC can honestly pay John Jones, their top fighter, to get in the ring against a monstrous heavyweight. Yes, it matters.
Well, I was going to say, Adam, I think you saw the same thing I saw here tonight. As John Jones's tweets, he's kind of taking some of the power back and kind of trying to essentially, I didn't see all the tweets, but essentially trying to
essentially what he said was, it's amazing to sit here and watch your boss lie right to a camera. John said that there was never money discussed. He just went and said, hey, we have to redo my contract if I'm moving up. And the response was, no, you already make way too much. You're fighting for what you fight for, or you're not fighting. And then he just said, okay, and that was it. It was over. And John thought,
you already make way too much.
Yeah. And John thought, okay, I guess we're not even going to discuss this. I'll stay at light heavyweight and move on. And then he sees Dana come out and just start saying he's asking for way too much. He's like, how could I have asked for too much if I didn't give him a number? Like, there's no number. So what are you talking about? Yeah. He said, if you're not going to change my contract for the heavyweight move, at least have the decency to be honest with the fans. I was over the situation, but I'm not going to sit back and allow Dana to lie. I never asked for an absurd amount of money. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
How do you think George St. Pierre felt for 6 years when Dana White consistently said I don't know if he wants to fight. I don't know how much hard of a fighter he's got left in him. I don't know if he wants to be a champion anymore. When George St. Pierre just wanted to be fairly paid and he wanted drug testing. He was pretty vocal about that, right? So this is a common theme with Dana. The difference is, and I had this conversation with JVT on Twitter earlier today about a changing tide and people being on board with ownership in the case of Major League Baseball and in the case of Dana White. And it's unquestionable that absolutely happens, that people do side with ownership in a lot of cases, right? But here's the difference. This has never played out in front of our eyes before when there's 40 million people employed and the country's locked down due to a pandemic. So now when you have billionaires taking away the entertainment, even when their employees are multi-millionaires, right? John Jones is a rich guy, but I got way more in common with John Jones than I do Dana White. And I think that's becoming more aware and it's becoming highlighted more during this pandemic. So historically, yes, I think people have flocked to ownership kind of with blinders on, but I think people are also waking up and seeing that, again, we have more in common with the athletes than we do the owners. And I think that hopefully there is a tide shifting. I know you guys probably both disagree with me, but I'm an optimist.
There's a point counterpoint on the chat line, on the chat room or in the chat comments, whatever, comment room. Weekend Nemesis was saying Jones is one of the all-time best. Why can't he make money like McGregor? I'll side with UFC because we think McGregor makes what per fight, Adam? Now,
I would guess 20 to 25.
Okay, that would be high for John Jones. And here the other thing that and Dana gets, it's all about money, just the amount that's shocking. Dana can always fire back on John Jones and say, you're not reliable. We've carried your ass multiple times. You fucked us over so many times. That's why you don't make when I need Conor McGregor to fight, well, sort of, because McGregor is also a lunatic. But when I need Conor to fight, he fights. When I need you to fight, it's a freaking 50-50 proposition. So that said, I do think that John Jones is at a level that he should be making. I'm shocked that he's not making $10 or $12 million a fight.
Well,
he might be making 5 to 7 or.
Why in this time, on the the other side of the mountain for his career, and I still think he's mostly a prime fighter. He should be making big money. He should bigger money.
Well, here's the interesting part of that. As this brewing rivalry, and it's been contentious here and there. There was a quote years ago that John had come out and talked about how he hadn't spoken to Dana White for an extended period of time, and people ran with it. And there's definitely Dana said things about John. John's been relatively quiet, but I'm sure he feels a certain way. Point being is he's speaking out more now. And if you look historically throughout the annals of UFC's past, right? Some of the best draws and some of the, I don't want to say villains because it depends on where you sit, right? Some of the more polarizing figures, their biggest foil was Dana White, Tito Ortiz, Frank Shamrock, BJ Penn, Randy Couture at one point, right? Sometimes when you're vanilla like John Jones has been at different points throughout his long reigning career as a champion, he hasn't really had that foil. Anderson Silva had Chael Sonnen. Anderson wasn't shit until Chael almost choked him out in Oakland, right? And then the whole tide shifted. He had that foil. He had that villain. He had people interested, right? Maybe Dana White is going to be John Jones's greatest foil, and it actually makes him the babyface that, the UFC probably wanted him to be all along.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, let's wrap on this. I got to put a picture up, and I just want thoughts on the picture because I have a couple of thoughts. Von Tobel, who is back tomorrow night. John will be on. We may have a special guest. A certain producer may have a camera, may have better internet.
Oh, no.
Well, I know.
That's a hell of a tease.
I know. We may book a fifth option.
Three letters?
Yeah. We're going to try it again.
Yeah.
We're going to try it again.
Nice.
This is a throwback photo. I'm thinking, 6 years ago, maybe? Something like that?
Sounds
I actually remember that. Didn't that run in Las Vegas Weekly Magazine?
It did.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Okay. Anything?
Adam
Anything
was
from
still a Bills fan.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
What a freaking turncoat.
Stevie Johnson.
You did love Stevie Johnson.
Yeah, one of my favorite players.
Do you still have a Rob Johnson jersey?
Of course I do.
Are you small enough to get into it again?
Probably.
Is that the goal? Is that your goal? If you can get into the JP Lossman and Rob Johnson jerseys, then you're good to go.
I want to fight Ngannou.
Is JVT giving himself little flames?
The picture, I think.
Back when headphones still had wires. The good old days. Thanks, Obama.
By the way, what is Taylor Byrne wearing?
He forgot the jersey, so we had to put him in back. Plus, why are you looking so disapproving?
I just tried to make some sort of face to look like a jackass. I actually think I nailed it. I'm not really sure. I probably give you that look a bunch. So
yeah, we didn't really have. We clearly didn't have like a theme of how we're gonna go. Like it wasn't like, all right, everybody be happy, everybody make a funny face. It was everybody's doing their own thing.
We're all doing our own thing.
Like I'm angry, Taylor's happy, JVT's trying to look cool, and Steve just looks like he doesn't care and is disapproving.
It's like this is you said something stupid again.
I actually think Adam and JVT are trying to outcool one another.
Well, how can he compete with me?
I feel like they're both giving like the blue steel look.
No.
I definitely was angry about something. I probably already knew the Bills were taking Josh Allen.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Let me get that back. Is there's
Very
something
liberal.
else?
Steve,
Something
sorry.
else.
Sorry, you're very liberal with the tabs. I wouldn't feel so comfortable doing what you do.
I don't care. There's something else. I don't know what that means, but yeah, okay.
Yep, this is what I'm stuck with. These three
This
idiots.
This one's interesting. Now it's going to go away, but this one's interesting. I'd bet $1 million the guys in the picture are single. He said just messing, but Adam is.
No, yeah.
Taylor found a woman, and
Oh boy, cut it off. Cut it off. Don't say it.
I know there's something Ryan, last night I said at the end of the show I was like, should I say this or not? Because I have like severe guilt after this stream because I think about what I said and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that one thing. Man, that was mean.
Okay.
Taylor Byrne is with someone. They live in the Czech Republic. She's a strong figure.
Okay. Physically, mentally, all encompassing.
She's got a presence.
You said that about my mom.
I'm not saying
Only time
Taylor,
I heard my mom described that way.
I'm not saying Taylor's a simp. Because I do like the narrative that once the election went the wrong way for Taylor, and believe me, I was on the air the day after Trump was elected president, and my God, that was a challenge. You want to talk about a guy who was down in the dumps? Adam was across the country just crying in a bed, I think in New York, like all day.
Yeah, I was in New York.
But anyway, so Taylor within a month was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. So all these pussies who were like, I'm leaving the country, Taylor did. And I think he's going to stay. No, JVT's got, I never know if John is married or has I don't know. But I swear
think you don't know because they didn't really have like a fancy wedding, but I believe they are married.
So he's married. I am with a lovely lady in spite of my fatness and stupid wardrobe and dumb hair and gray on the sides and double chin.
And 7 cats.
And now 7 cats.
7?
Which, my God, they're taking over our lives. Can I tell you my biggest observation? And this is going to be the moment where someone gets hammered, but I'm not going to regret it. This picture was put out with the fucking green screen in the picture with nothing on it.
I know.
Like
that is Lotus. That right there is Lotus Digital.
Well, doesn't it give people the chance to put stuff behind us if they want to?
I know.
It's like this mystery, Steve. That's what that is.
But this photo itself should have never been made available to any of us. Adam, I don't believe that they were like, let's be flexible and let them put something on the green screen.
No. I'm just saying people have the opportunity to do that if they want to, because it was put out like that.
Exactly.
I will say that is one of 2 show photos that we've had drummed up in the building, and I've been in the building for 16 years.
Wow.
Let's do it now, but just all with like N95 masks and bandanas, looking like we're going to a riot.
This is it. I'm now going to do the graphic. I just screenshot us, and I'm just going to use these little boxes, and this will be our new logo. Just us stacked on top of each other. That's it. What happens on the show when you need something done? We get it done.
Halfway at least.
Yeah, not really. Half-assed. Yeah, that's a good comment from Arvid. If you're going to go to the Czech Republic, do you go with a woman or do you go single?
What happens in the Czech Republic?
Come on.
I don't even know what that means. It's a dictatorship, I believe.
I know Clay Baker's made many references about the Czech Republic. You've been on YouPorn, right? Just type in Czech.
I'm not big into Euro stuff. I can't understand what they're saying.
Oh, here it is.
I'm not cultured.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. Actually, you know what? The original plan for that photo was to have us on the side of buses, and then they were like, nah.
Yeah.
They don't program music on an FM station. They're not important enough.
Why is
Yeah.
JVC saying tune into your passion? Is that something someone told you? Because
No.
if someone told me that, I would burn everything to the ground.
Wasn't that the motto on the photo?
Isn't that no. Our sports marketing is some guy with his hat on backwards, and he's like, yeah, like screaming at a TV, and then the LV Sports Network and the station logos. So it's just a stock photo of just some kid screaming about sports, and that's it.
Okay,
That's it.
sick.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, and that's the slogan. Tune into your passion.
Well, you know what?
By the way, while we're on it, nobody still has sent a picture of the billboard, and I keep hearing people say they see it. Can somebody get a photo?
You guys
You're
have
on
a
a billboard.
Yeah,
No. Adam's got an RJ billboard somewhere in town.
yeah.
No way.
And people keep telling me about it, but nobody is like taking a picture and sent it to me.
You
Is
have
that-
a billboard.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me and Cassie. Apparently.
No way.
Yeah.
So now you have lobster mac and cheese and a fucking.
Nah. We found out last night it's off the menu.
Oh, well, good. That would be
Yeah.
too much. Your
He
ego.
can't, well, he can't stock lobster during the pandemic.
Right.
It's all right.
My
I don't
condolences.
know. I heard it was on the 215 like south area, but I have not seen it. I think it's a digital one that rotates.
John is saying it's an electronic billboard, hard to capture, switches around.
Okay.
Maybe that's the case.
Okay. Nobody wants to stop their car and wait for it to get to
The theme is your paper's Raider Nation push, right? You guys are Raider Nation.
Yeah.
I tried to get him. He wasn't listening.
Vegas Nation.
He immediately corrects me if I say Raider Nation. He's like, no, Vegas Nation.
Vegas
We're
Nation.
not part of the Raiders.
Yeah, Vegas Nation.
Is it that stupid picture of you back to back with
Yeah,
Heidi with the ball in your hand?
No, me and Cassie.
Oh, it's you and Cassie.
Yeah.
Are you back to back?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a stupid smile on your face?
I think it's more like, what are you going to do?
It's like you in the green screen photo, Steve. What
Russell,
are you gonna do?
Ru- Russell at 95.
Bickety, bickety, bang.
Oh my god. Losing it.
It's good.
It's too wild and crazy guy. Okay, well, not in this case.
I gotta. Oh, that's by Ryan's house. Now you got to go get it. Russell in 95.
That's right by me.
Yeah. Go park your car over there and wait for it to flip to the right one and then take a picture.
I'll send you my Cash App. It'll be $15.
That's worth it.
You
It's a
got
good
it.
photo. That's a good photo.
I will say we did get a compliment. We did get a compliment from a Houston radio host who said the description of the show going in, because the description was talking about the murder of George Floyd and the legal issues around it, plus Henderson's AHL team has a name. He goes, I can honestly say that I've never seen a greater dichotomy of topics. Laughing out loud. And there's a word miss.
Who's that? AJ?
No, this guy Josh Ennis, who just got back into radio,
Okay.
who he's entertaining. He's a crazy guy.
Does he throw headphones?
We'll talk about him another time.
Okay.
We have gone over the time limit. We appreciate everyone staying around. Big Mac, excellent job. What's wrong? You want to keep going?
I wanted to hear about the stealing of the headphones.
No, the
Stealing
throwing.
The throwing.
Talking
You saw
about
that,
the-
right?
Yeah, the Philly.
You saw the Philly guy throw the headphones.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What was, man? I mean, we're a crazy show, but that shit's just ridiculous. Like, I'm so thankful. Like, I don't like either one of you, but I'm so glad that you are not that. Like, it could be so much worse. It really could. So thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry. Well, I'm not going to say sorry. I thought it was a good discussion early on. So that's what this late night happy hour is. We're going to get hardcore and stuff, and everyone had some feelings on what's going on. I hope everyone has feelings on what's going on in Minneapolis and Louisville and LA and even here in Vegas. We'll see ya.